Thank you and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. The topic is the life of R.H. Boyd and his times. And of course, we're talking to Dr. Bobby Lovett from Tennessee State University, who is the author of a book called How It Came to Be, dealing with the Boyd family. And of course, Dr. Lovett, you talked about the establishment of the National Baptist Publishing Board. And we also understand that R.H. Boyd was involved in a number of other entrepreneurial activities.
Right.
And why don't you sort of give us an overview in terms of some of the things that he was involved in?
R.H. Boyd arrived in Nashville in November of 1895 and established the National Baptist Publishing Board, which officially had its first quarter in January of 1896. The reason he did is because African Americans had to depend upon other companies to print their Sunday school literature. Company out of Philadelphia, which was the American Baptist Publication Society. And they also depended upon the Southern Baptist Convention, their publishing house. He was in Nashville. So he thought that African Americans should have their own images on that literature and have their own views about Christianity and Sunday school lessons. But he also started a lot of other companies. Along with other African American leaders here in Nashville in 1905, they founded Citizens Bank. And as few people know, Citizens Bank in Nashville, which has 3 branches in the city. Citizens Bank is the oldest continuous operating African American bank in the country. It goes back to 1905. But he also started the National Baptist Negro Dolls Club. They sold black dolls because they argued that African American children should have toys that reflect their image. And so he formed the Negro Doll Company, National Negro Doll Company.
You know, that's a curious thing, Dr. Lovett, because I think a lot of us think that only in the 1960s do we get these African images and whatever. But you're telling us R.H. Boyd and others were thinking at the turn of the 20th century.
They had the National Negro Doll Company, which you can see pictures of in the Nashville Globe. And he also started the National Baptist Church Supply Company, and that was to put African Americans to work building cabinets and church furniture. They sold organs and all sorts of things. And black craftsmen made a lot of these particular products here in Nashville. And they, along with others, formed the Union Transportation Company in the spring of 1905. And that company was formed because Tennessee passed a Jim Crow law in March of 1905 that said African Americans had to ride on the back of the streetcars. So they boycotted the Nashville streetcars and formed their own streetcar company. And they bought electric streetcars that are from St. Louis and Tarrytown, New York. And they had 5 routes here in Nashville where blacks operated their own streetcars as a part of that particular boycott. And also, Boyd and his son formed the Globe Publishing Company, and the Globe newspaper was published from 1905 to January 1959. And it was the major weekly black newspaper here. It was started because you couldn't get any news in the Banner and the Tennessean and the local newspapers. And he argued that, of course, African Americans should be their own journalists, and they should control their own news as to what they wanted to consume and also what they wanted to distribute. And so he was an entrepreneur.
Yeah, he was an extraordinary
he was a businessman.
Yes,
he was a Renaissance man. Yes.
Became involved in almost all aspects of the African experience.
Right. He believed, you know, there's no separation between church and business. Churches should promote African American business, and African American businesses should be a part of the religious community as well. So he really was a man way ahead of his time.
He really was.
And that's what the book is about. And he also formed the National Baptist Sunday School Congress, which still operates. And